and welcome to my channel, Maine's Mind. So today we are going to talk about 5 alternatives to Kindle Vella. I have not started posting my stories on other platforms, but I was kind of wanting to do a little bit of research just so that I could see what alternatives are out there. So one of the first alternatives that I looked at was Riddick. Riddick, from what I read, has a very large following. It is worldwide, and it's unique in that it offers you a one-time payout. So there's no royalties. They're going to read your story. You have to apply to their program to see if they would be willing to accept your story. Now, if they accept your story, then if you sign an exclusive contract, from what I understand, you can get up to $10,000 one-time payout, which is not a small lump sum. And then if it's a non-exclusive, they'll still give you a one-time payout, but it'll probably be less. Now, how much they pay out, I couldn't say, but I know they're unique in that. Some of the requirements is that they really don't want it to have a cliffhanger. They do like the romance, like the romance novels, but they will still consider other genres. And they want it to be about, the story must be complete already, and it must be at least 30,000 words. It says once you apply, it'll take about 3 weeks to hear back from them. But once you do, they'll pay you through PayPal or wire transfer, and they also give you a $100 sign-on bonus on top of their payout. Okay, so that one right there I thought was pretty interesting. I might look into that one. And their contracts are anywhere from 1 to 5 years, if I'm not mistaken. Now, the other one that I was looking at is something called Good Novel. Now, this one right here, I'm not too sure what the standard payout is for serial fiction. Like I said, this is still kind of new to me as well, and I just kind of wanted to look into it. But there's Good Novel and there's Any Stories, and both of these pay about the same. Matter of fact, Any Stories pays a little bit less. But these right here seem like they're very demanding, because they're going to give you, for Good Novel, you have to upload 30,000 words and you'll get a $100 sign-on bonus. After that, you have to post an additional 50,000 words in 25 days to get $150. Now, if you post more than 50,000 words, then they'll give you a little bit more. And once you complete the story, you'll get a bonus based on how many words it is. But just to give you an idea, this is like an 80,000 to 120,000 word completion for an additional 150. So for your story in total, if you post your 30,000 and then an additional 50,000 on top of that, and you finish your story at say 120,000 words, you're going to get a total of $400. I don't know if that's normal, but I don't know. I think I would want a little bit more than that. Any Stories was kind of the same pay design, but their payouts were a little bit less. Like their initial sign-on bonus for a 30,000 word story was $50. So I don't know about those. I mean, up to you. One good thing is that they do have a large following. So if you do not have a following already, this might be good if you want a little bit of money to kind of get you through and kind of start building your following. So that's something that you could definitely consider. That is something that you could definitely take into consideration. And what's kind of nice about these, especially with the good stories, is that if you sign on exclusively, well, both of them really, if you sign on with Good Stories if you sign on with Good Novel or Any Stories, one of the perks is that if you sign exclusively with them, then they will help you promote your book by promoting it on Facebook and stuff. So that's one plus. And with Riddick, if you sign an exclusive contract, they'll also promote your book for you. Another one that I was looking into was Radish. Radish, from what I understand, is a little different in that they want your story to be exclusive. So this is one of those that if you've already posted with Kindle Vella, you would have to completely remove it from Kindle Vella in order to be able to publish it with Radish. And again, with this, you have to apply to see if your story will get accepted. If it does, then from what I understand, they pay you royalties every quarter. So you'll get money from them once every 3 months, I'm sorry. You'll get money from them once every 3 months based on how much money you get. I think it's got like a $50 minimum payout. So if after a month you have received about $50, then they'll go ahead and send it to you through PayPal or wire transfer, however it is they do it. Okay, so that is something that is worth looking into, because they will, if they accept your story for their platform, they will pay you royalties for your story, but it has to be exclusive to them. And once you sign up with them, you're still kind of responsible for promoting your own book, and that. So for some people, that might be like a hang up for them. And then number 5, this one right here is not a paying platform. This one is Whatpad. Now, I heard of Whatpad a long time ago when my children were young, because they were writing on that, especially my older daughter. But I didn't really, consider it. I didn't really know what it was. So this one right here, you are not going to get money if you post your stories here. So again, if you've already posted on Kindle Vella, you know that you can't post your story anywhere else without it being behind a paywall. But if you have like a fresh story you want to post there just to try it out, Whatpad will allow you to post your stories there for free. You get the feedback from the readers, and it's just a good place to get feedback, help you develop. And they do have a development program to kind of help you develop as a writer if that's something that you need. And then one of the benefits from them is, one, if your story is doing really well, they will invite you to their paid program. And once they invite you to your paid program, then if I'm not mistaken, you get like royalties based on your story, like people who want to pay to read it. But it's kind of like a separate program from Whatpad. It's Whatpad, but it's a different thing where people have to go to pay. And you are only allowed on that platform to post your work on that platform if you are invited. But that being said, Whatpad has a really neat little feature in that if your story's doing really good and they've already invited you to the paid thing, they could consider turning your book into a movie. And they have partnerships with like Hulu and stuff like that, so that they can do that. And they even advertise books that they have already turned into movies. So that's a nice perk. If you're not in it for the money and you're just in it to kind of build your base and get to have readers and get some good feedback, that might be an option for you to start with. So that is 5 alternatives to Kindle Vella. There are many more serial sites. I couldn't even begin to list them all, and there's no way I could go into detail on every single one of them. Some of them were like Mobile Reader and Tapas and Fictionate. I think there was something called Kung Fu Books. Substack is something that I was looking into. There's so many serial fiction sites that you can go look into and do your research and see which one will fit you best. If you know of other ones that are worth really looking into, please comment below. Let everybody know which ones that you all are writing on, which ones you're participating on. If you have any suggestions, let me know. And while you're out there in the world, please don't forget to check out my stories, Alpha Rising Moon Witch is now complete, and Dragon Guard. And don't forget to like and subscribe and ring the bell so you can be notified when I post new content. See you next time.